Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Harakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, rule well. Shalom to all the brothers doing the work of certain truth. Yeah, just kind of wanted to go into how essentially, the service of Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, it's like that's a core essential part of the Israelite identity, man. When you go to what is it, Romans 9, the service of Most High, that's counted as part of what, essentially what's been portioned to Israel. And it's a key part of, our reason for being here on the planet, man. It's something that has been, well, what comes with that is, you get the envy of the heathen, man. The heathen out there feeling a certain way about that. And then what, the knock-on impact of that is we get to like Revelation 11, where Israel get put in hardcore bondage, and then everyone's celebrating, man, because they'll being tormented. They'll know like, yo, when these guys are serving their power, they're at the apex, man. Ain't nothing we can do. We basically get put under the feet of them. So yeah, I read this Joshua 24. Start from 24 and 14. So it says, now therefore fear the Lord Yahweh, and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt, and serve ye the Lord Yahweh. Yeah, because that's another key part of Israelite identity is what is them basically being enamored, having their lovers, man. Them other gods, the Israel, will go sneak off and start, worshipping. Up to this day, like the key one in the modern day is what is that Cesare Borgia image, man. That white so-called, Jesus Christ, that white Jesus. That's the key one that's got the got over the minds of Jake nowadays. But it's been there's been different gods, like you can go to Diana, the Ephesians, you go to Baal, you can go to Moloch. You got various of these different so-called these different gods that have been fallen basically a blight on Israel. So as it say, and if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord Yahweh, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord Yahweh. Yeah. The choice is there. You can serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, or what? You can serve the gods of the Amorites, because when they just got into the land, those are the guys who've been taken down, and there was a residue of those various nations around. But what's the key thing? So those guys are falling aside. It's like you serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you don't even have to worry about them. So go to this Joel 2:27. It says, and you shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord Yahweh, your power, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed. And yeah, that's the key thing, is Israel, we're out here, we basically got what? We've got Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that's our power. He's basically got us covered. As long as we do our duty in the service of him, then we'll have our back covered. And then when it comes to the judgment, then whatever has been apportioned to us for the judgment we'll receive. Whatever temptations we're going to receive on this side, in anticipation of that, we receive, we take it cheerfully. And then whatever portion of whatever talent you've been delivered, then you basically work for that talent. And that's what we're going to be doing. But That's a relationship that the Israel have with Yahweh Shem Yahshai, but hey, the heathen ain't gonna get that. That's why you have Israelites dotted amongst those different nations. You know what it might look like them. They might think they're one of them, but if they're the elect, their spirits can be roused, can be woken up. Seen it various times where you be like, okay, yeah, you got these Israelites out here, and then you chat with them one minute, you rouse the spirit, and then lo and behold, tuh. So I read this. So John 4:11. So it says, the woman saith unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to... Oh, wait. If I'm gonna... Okay. Let's start from verse 9 then. So, so it says... One sec. Oh, fuck it. So it says, then say... John 4:9. Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. Yahushua answered and said unto her, If thou knewest the gift of the Most High, and who it is that saith to thee, Give me to drink, thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. The woman saith unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water? Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us a well? And yeah, you had, this Samaritan woman. And then you go back to the history, go into Kings, then you'll know that he even got brought in to populate them, and they were basically made to follow the law. And then it's similar to like the Amalek today, where these guys have been raised thinking there's an identity that belongs to them, but then what? Lo and behold, that's just that's a complete falsehood. This woman at this time was laboring under that same falsehood. Because said what dealing with our father. What did it say? Yeah, art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well and drank thereof himself and his children, his cattle. She was thinking she was of that line, but hey, it's gonna manifest. We're in that time now where the Spirit's revealing it, and lo and behold, everything we're seeing in that land essentially is confirming that they're not the ones. So it says, art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well and drank thereof himself and his children and his cattle? And then Yahushua answered and said unto her, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again, but whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. The woman saith unto him, Sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Yahushua saith unto her, Go call thy husband and come hither. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Yahushua said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband. In that saidest thou truly. Yeah. With she was playing a harlot, but then the key thing is she was she was trying to get in. She's trying to get what's basically meant for the lambs, but she's not counted among one who's going to receive it. It says, what? The woman saith unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is a place where men ought to worship. Yahushua saith unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye know not what, we know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. Yeah, and that's the key thing. Salvation's of the Jews. It's basically a matter of what. Blimey. So I said what we know what we know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews, and really is that. There's in a nation where it's been appointed from, before the world was made, man, before any of us were on the scene, before Adam was even on the scene, it was appointed to, you can have the righteous, you can have a role to serve, and the wicked, they have their role to serve. Because why? Like it said, but hour cometh, and now is when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh to worship him. No, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. The Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. And yeah, it's really that. It's if you're gonna, come into the service, then you need to make sure you're coming to to the correct, the correct place, correct spot. You're coming, you're not worshiping some what do you call it, some funky thing that just crawled out of the desert somewhere. You're basically dealing with the correct the correct power, and that's something where it's like now people are all lost and confused, because now it's everyone's just eating up dust, eating up confusion, and they have no clue or means to discern really, and it's really what the Spirit needs to reveal it to you. Otherwise, you're gonna be lost, wandering in complete confoundment, man. And then if you're not counted among Israel, then there's no role for you in there. And that's something that's been been an issue. That's essentially been what do you call it? The heathen have had discontent against Israel for the longest, man. That's been a key part of why the heathen are upset. We have our relationship, and they have no part in it. So I read this Ezra 4. It says, 1, it says, now when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity, and the adversary, you can go to like Psalms 83, and it will go into the adversaries, which was what the heathen were. And we had the principal among them is Esau. Esau's the main one that's been appointed as the ultimate what's the word? Ultimate enemy's not the word I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of adversary. Adversary is the word. The ultimate adversary, the ultimate antagonist for Israel, because they're basically the ones resisting Israel the most. Then what? Yeah. Okay. So now, when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity builded the temple unto the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, and then they came to Zerubbabel and to the chief of the fathers and said unto them, let us build with you, for we seek your power as ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him, since the days of Esarhaddon, king of Ashur, which brought us up hither. And yeah, it's again, the heathen can be out there, worshipping the Most High, thinking essentially they have a portion in this. But what's the reality? The reality is nah, ain't that. The heathen have got their own destinies tied to them. But alas, ain't gonna work out. Ain't gonna work out in your favor. So it says, but Zerubbabel and Jeshua And the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, Ye have nothing to do with us to build an house unto our power, but we ourselves together will build unto the Lord Yahweh power of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, hath commanded us. The people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them in building. Yeah. And hired counselors against him to frustrate their purpose all the days of Cyrus, king of Persia, even until the reign of Darius, the king of Persia. And yeah, that's that's usually the response. The heathen are basically not looking well, they're upset, man. They're emotional. They're thinking like, yo, nah, we deserve a peace, man. Peace is soft sign. But it's really a thing where it's just like, nah. It's been appointed by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. Y'all ain't got nothing to do with this. And that's something that you know is gonna be an emotional hurdle for these guys to overcome. But really, well, that's on them. It's really for Israel to wake up and just be like, yo, we need to really, the mindset you're meant to be in is like going back to your power and serving it. Because as far as for, you know, the conundrum we're in now, and what the time of Jacob's trouble, the worst is yet to come. The worst is yet to come, man. So even more reason why you be like, yo, I need you know, well, what does it say? Proverbs 18:10, I believe. The name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and are safe. You need that name, man. You need that covering, man. You need to be shielded, man, against what's to come. And that's, you know, for Israel, man. Ain't for the heathen. Okay. So Numbers 24:12, I'll finish on this. So that says, And Balaam said unto Balak, Spake I not also to thy messengers, which thou sentest unto me, saying, If Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the commandment of the Lord Yahweh, to do either good or bad of mine own mind, but what the Lord Yahweh saith, that will I speak. And that's how it is when it comes to the truth, when it comes to this word, when it comes to how we got to deal with it. We're not speaking of our own mouths. When we say like, yo, Esau's going into captivity, the heathen are going into captivity, when we say Esau's getting destroyed, America's going to get nuked off the face of the earth, these are not words that are just coming from our own hearts. We're just basically delivering the message, man. We're messengers out here. We're just out here saying like, yo, dog, it's on the level of y'all are gonna. This is what's going down. Deal with it. Deal with it how you wish. It's the same thing with, you know. Same thing with what you call it. Who was it? I was gonna specify about with Zerubbabel talking to, you know, the heathen, saying like, oh, you've been worshiping since blah. It's like, okay, you man do your thing. But we know what it is. It's echoed all throughout the scriptures. There's no point where it stops being like, yo, like Israel's not getting dealt with. It's from the beginning to the end. It's all Israel. So you go into Revelation. What is it? The New Jerusalem, the 12 gates, man, for the 12 tribes. Who's being saved? That innumerable multitude coming out of them nations. Israel. So it said, and now behold, I go unto my people, come therefore, I will advertise thee what this people shall do to thy people in the latter days. And that's where we're coming to, when everything is, all the scales are going to be laid out, everyone's going to receive their judgment, and then what, you know, the kingdom is going to be established, Yahushua is going to be established, Israel's going to be established, and it's going to be made clear, yo, these are the chosen, and everyone else is basically, you know, in order underneath. What does it say? And he took, okay, verse 15. And he took up his parable and said, Balaam the son of Beor hath said, and a man whose eyes are open hath said, he hath said which heard the words of the Most High and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, having his eyes opened. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheph. Yeah, that star, basically how these heathens are gonna get put on smash. Yahushua and the angels heading it, essentially gonna bring an end to this current age, the age, the heathen, the various kingdoms of the heathen, man. That's all gonna come to an end. It says, and Edom shall be a possession, Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Yeah, Israel going to be doing valiantly. The heathen are going to be getting put. Well, who are they going to be doing valiantly against, man? Them same enemies. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth the city. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. Yeah, Amalek's going to receive a special portion because they were the first to touch Israel when they came out of Egypt, man. They were the first ones to incur the ire of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, touching the apple of his eye. What does it say? Was the first name, but the latter end shall be that he perish forever. And he looked on the Kenites and took up his parable and said, strong is thy dwelling place, and thou puttest thou puttest thy nest in a rock. Yeah, there's one other verse I was looking for, but I think it's in the previous chapter. But yeah, heathen essentially what? They're going to be put on smash. They're going to be subjected. That's why it's but then it's they're, other than Esau, after 1,000 years, they're gonna get their kingdoms back. But Esau's the one that's gonna get put to an end, man. He's gonna serve his purpose. He's gonna receive his judgment. Then that'll be done. I think what I wanted was. What was it? Because it was just let my end. Yeah, okay. Okay, so Numbers 23 and 8, it says, how shall I curse whom the Most High have not cursed? Or how shall I defy who the Lord Yahweh hath not defied? For from the tops of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him. Lo, the people shall dwell alone, and shall not be reckoned among the nations. Who can count the dust of Jacob, and the number of the fourth part of Israel? Let me die the death of the righteous, and let my last end be like his. Yeah, the heathen out here wanting the end of the righteous, because you saw it. You go into the further chapter, you see, he falls into the trance. He sees the end, Israel doing valiantly, and the heathen getting subjected, and he's like, yo, he wants his end to be the end of the righteous, man, because he's basically trying to go around and do what Balak wanted. But what? He couldn't. Because why? It's like, how I'm going to curse what the Most High ain't curse. Then I ain't got no power in it. I can't even get an inch in that. Like, it's over. I just have to deal with what's been portioned, and that's why it's like, damn, the end they're gonna get, that's been portioned. It's like I want a piece of that. But hey, is what it is. That it's a wrap, man. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom, shalom. Yabashim Shab, Bashim Rakakadash. Yahabashim Yashab, Bashim Rakakadash. Shalom.